Okay, this will be the last time using the mic, and I see that I believe it's working. So that's a very good sign. Hell yes. Okay, awesome. Great. Switch to the USBs, fabulous. I'm okay with that. Can live with that. So this will be the stream that we're going to go with. Got to delete the other one. I had a couple good months there where I did not need to restart the stream at all, so I guess I should be thankful. So, the customary, what have I been up to lately while we wait for some people to arrive? I have started the Metal Gear series in the past week with the new re-release. Hi, Benny. What's up? Welcome to the stream. And I've been enjoying that a bit, but I'm enjoying the second game way more than the first one. I find the gameplay a lot more fun. And the presentation is just a lot better. I often find it hard to enjoy games with very dated gameplay. Yeah, the new remasters, the new releases, which I guess for the second set, this first set includes the original pixelated games, the two that they made, and then the 3 Metal Gear Solid games, the first 3. I guess the second collection is going to be the first time Metal Gear Solid 4 has ever been released on a console other than PS3. So that'll be pretty cool. And especially for me, because I want to go through the series, and I do not have a working PS3, like many people, I assume, don't. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's cool seeing all these characters and learning about them for real after, if you're online, I think, will have absorbed, if you're into video games, a general level of knowledge about Metal Gear. So it's really interesting to, get to know these characters. Other than that, I saw the new Martin Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is 3.5 hours long. I saw that yesterday. It's unfortunately not very good. I think it could have worked well enough at 2.5 hours long or even less, and might have been for the better if that had happened. But I guess now that we have a couple people in here, we can get started with the chapter. So I have been late on getting to this chapter because I had a vacation right after it came out. And just the kind of chapter it was, I wasn't itching to talk about it anyway, so it just made sense to delay the stream till after the vacation. Then we learned that the chapter is going to get revised, and I said, okay, well, why not just wait until then? So that's what I did, and it's still been a couple days since then. I think the revised version has already been added by Zatch Bell Gamer, aka Raze, on Manga Deck, so we are ready to go through that. This is a pretty dialogue-heavy chapter, and I'm probably going to skip a lot of the dialogue. And the discussion might take a bit of a different tone than you expect, but perhaps not if you... Well, only I know myself that well, I think, to understand that it wouldn't go that way. But we're going to talk about it. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of interesting stuff. So Benny, when you say you're asking what does revised mean? No, it doesn't mean retranslated. I don't think Raze needed to retranslate anything. Who does the scans of these chapters? Makoto Raikou himself revised the chapter, mostly by redrawing a couple pages to make them a little bit more impactful. And if you go through the chapter, you might notice it. There's specifically one page that has been turned into a 2-page spread when it was not before. So there was a lot of speculation on how exactly it would be revised. Some people thought maybe there would be a major change to the chapter, given that it is sort of a controversial chapter. But there wasn't a major change. Welcome, Justin. Hope you've been well too. So we're gonna get into the chapter. We have Sherry just kind of walking around town like Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and she's beloved by the people. Clearly, she's doing them favors. People are asking her things. This lady says, "Oh, Sherry, I saw Claude at the bar again." Sherry says, "Thanks for letting me know," but then she has this bizarre look on her face. And then we see her with her children, who were much discussed when they were seen at the end of the last chapter. Some people speculated that they were not actually her children. We now know they are. Their names are Nicolas, Jean, and what's the girl's name? Is it on this page? I'm not sure if it's on this page, so we'll get there. I don't remember her name. It's Aria or something like that. And the kid Jean is telling Sherry that Nicolas skipped judo class again. And Nicolas is sort of saying, listen, I need a break, okay? We do a lot here. We only get to study at home. We never get the time of day at this house. It's suffocating, is what her son says. Sherry says, Nicolas, the Belmont family is one of great prestige, and we've always made it a point to carry ourselves with a strong sense of virtue. It's our responsibility to set a good example of education and character for the people around. And then her son, Nicolas, says, you only used to be a noble, right? The real French nobility was abolished years ago. They taught us all about it in class. That may be the case, but even so, the people who live around here still look up to the Belmonts as feudal lords. They rely on us. We help them produce crops, educate the public, assist in times of crisis. It's our sworn duty to protect and enrich the lives of the residents in this area. Papa's been cheating on you. How's that for character? He's been seeing another woman behind your back. Again, we get a look from Sherry that looks more annoyed than devastated. There's clearly something that she's well aware of. John says, Nicolas, come on, not in front of Flora. That is the name of Sherry's daughter, and she's clearly pretty distressed by hearing about this. She probably as well. It seems like they've all known about this for a while, but still obviously a distressing thing to the kids. Justin says, I didn't think that this would be Sherry's future. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people didn't, and we're going to discuss that. Why this is her future. What's the deal? What happened? Both in universe and why the author might have made that decision. I just want to be able to play like everybody else. I can't even make one single friend the way things are now. You can play around all you want on Sunday afternoons, can't you? That's not why you don't have friends, because nobody wants to put up with your bad attitude. But what kind of friend would I be if I didn't hang out with them every day? Enough, both of you, Sherry says. Nicolas, I understand what you're going through, believe me. Jean, Flora, please be honest. If I haven't put too much pressure on you, have you two also wanted to quit? Flora says, I guess I do wish we could play a little more sometimes. So any readers who remember the original series pretty well, at this point will probably notice that Sherry is putting her kids through seemingly a substantially lighter version of what her own mother put her through. And what her mother put her through made her nearly want to end her own life, which Coco, who unfortunately is not in this chapter, saved her from. So that's interesting. And another thing that a lot of people did not expect. And it's interesting to see where Sherry is similar to her mom and then where they're different. Once again, another thing we'll discuss a little bit. Well, I'm doing just fine. I've been practicing tennis for years, and it's made me into the champ of this district. We're also the only kids who get to live in such a big house like this. We're special, so I totally get why we should learn all these different talents. So, Sherry says she struggled a lot when she was younger. Now that she's an adult, she's glad that she decided to work through the tough times. Echoing a little bit what Coco told her. However, it's, there's discussion to be had that maybe she's not going about it the right way, that she's almost admitting that she's putting her children through tough times is sort of a bizarre thing. But right after that, she does say, if you're ever pushed to the point where you feel like life just isn't worth living anymore, I won't force you to keep at it. But I truly hope you'd still find a way to persevere for the sake of becoming the best person you can be. You have to rise above the pain, and a whole new world will open up to you, a splendid new identity. It's something that allows us to appreciate the beauty of life and shapes it into something magical beyond our wildest dreams. Clearly, kind of talking about her own experience. Clearly, she does not necessarily believe that she is similar to her mom there in this case. But then, of course, in contrast to everything she's saying, well, there's unrest in this house, in this family. And it's because Nicola here saw, I don't know, I want to say saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, which is is a famous song that they play around Christmas time. He saw something similar. He saw their father Claude with another woman. It reminds me of the movie Roma, where the kids are just randomly going to the movies, and there's like 4 different kids, and they're all together see the dad with another woman. I don't believe it's a reference, though. I would say so if I thought it was. I think it's just coincidental. I'm sure this does happen. You know, you'll see. You'll see. Have you ever seen some people you knew, or even a member of your family, just kind of around town? It can happen. It's happened to me. I saw my dad at a bookstore once, and we didn't know he was going to be there. My dad and mom are still married and have been for a long time. We didn't know his plans for the day. You know what I mean? Like so it was funny. We went to the bookstore. He was also there. We also saw our uncle at a mall food court once. So it does happen. Thankfully, not as seeing something so incriminating like this. So he's remembering that. He's saying, it's, Sherry is, taking care of her husband and doing work for the town and all that, while ignoring, the family's falling apart in his view. What a load of nonsense. Get money first, virtue comes after. That's what he thinks Sherry is saying. That's the messaging that he's getting from Sherry. Papa's a financial trader, so he's the one who paid off the house when he got married. An estate like this cost a lot of money to maintain, so Mama wouldn't dare confront him about what he's been up to. That's what he thinks. We don't know if that's really true. He's quoting a famous quote by someone named Horace. In doing what? Oh, so you think, well, he's still, the thing is that, to me, he still seems very dissatisfied with that, Maybe he's disillusioned. I think inside he knows that that's not correct. You know what I mean? I didn't know there was a quote from someone, though. That's interesting. And it does seem to me like he could possibly read into what Sherry is saying as money comes first. But I guess it depends on how you look at it. There's always a little misunderstandings between us and the chapters, aren't there, Zatch Gamer? It's always interesting to see every month. There's always something I tend to read a little differently from you. So that's interesting. So I do want to get to this next page because it's a good one. I'm going to grow up to be just like him. I'll inherit all of his money and live out the rest of my days doing whatever I want. So yeah, I mean, that does definitely seem like he's obviously in support of that, but he does seem to be sort of dissatisfied with everything in general, So his alarm rings 2 o'clock already. Oh, 2 p.m. I think. So he's probably off to go do something. Yeah. All the other kids get the rest of the day off. So how come I'm the only one who still has to work? And then in the other side of this panel, we see this horrid creature, which is very unique design, a little like MODOK from Marvel Comics, but in that he's just a head with limbs, but his clothes seem to be very ill-fitting, or his body is just shaped so weirdly that his arms and legs just seem to be like bulging out of the sleeves of this thing. And he looks like the Michelin Man almost. And He's got a very bizarre kind of texture to his skin. Quite creepy looking, but also kind of funny. So yeah, let's talk about the poster. So it's a poster for in his room for some sort of anime. Looking at it, for me, it looks like it was drawn by Raikou. It doesn't look like it's just been lifted from somewhere. And I don't see anything that looks too much like Ultraman, Zatch Gamer. The thing at the bottom looks a little bit more like Made in Heaven from JoJo, I think. But the name does look like it could be something real. To me, it still looks like it was drawn by Raikou, but maybe not. So I don't know if there's anything anyone knows of that starts with a V. The only thing I can think of is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Of Reigns, but it's not that. So that's a mysterious thing, and that's something I wonder if is going to come up later, whatever this fictional show is. But yeah, it looks like there might at least be something very similar to JoJo in there. Yeah, there's a guy he looks like he's got some kind of like power suit on. There's some kind of probably an evil scientist on the left, and then there's a lady on the right. I'm not sure I think she just got her hair coming out behind her there. So we have this freak here on the other side of the room. Nicolas is very surprised. He's running away. The guy's trying to catch him. He falls down the stairs in a somewhat comical manner. And the guy's about to catch him, and then boom, Sherry kicks him right in the face. Grrr. Mama. Guy falls. You all right, Nicolas? Oh, my ankle. Then Flora screams, her other child, and she's being attacked by this strange creature who has these 4 flower petals coming out, 4 flowers coming out from her back that go, sun, 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 sun. And this, I believe, is a visual reference to a monster. I forget, is this from Ultraman Zatch Gamer? Do you remember? Is it from Kamen Rider? I know the head specifically people thought was a reference. I can't show that on screen, unfortunately, but I remember people were saying that. She's very freaked out by this, as anyone would be. And Sherry dashes up the stair. This other monster's kind of trying to grab her. He's like, no, she's too fast. This guy seems kind of useless. Yeah, see if you can find the Zatch game. I'd look for it myself, but maybe after I finish the chapter if we don't find it. So Sherry runs in to this piranha plant lady. Ah, there you are, Sherry. She throws the sheet at the monster, takes her daughter. Phew, she is good. Right, Ultra 7, which I have. I'm still going through regular Ultraman, but once I finish that, which is, I've been on a hiatus from it for a while. Maybe I will get to Ultra 7, which is the second series in that franchise. Who are these monsters? Old man, can you hear me over the phone speaker? I'm coming down the center stairs. I'll bring them all to your garage just as soon as I find Jean. Dong. Bonjour, Sherry. So here we have what I would guess are going to be the main opponents of this fight, though I'm not entirely sure who is bonded with who in this sort of pair mechanic that we've seen from the villains. I would guess that these two are a pair, and then the weird man and the plant woman are also a pair. But I do like the big guy. He's nicely dressed. A gentle giant. Could be. We've had that before in Zatch Bell. We've had Eshros's partner, Shin. So Jean, the good child, who does everything they want, is captured. But there is someone saving the day. The big guy gets shot. Boom. Doesn't seem to react very much, honestly. He does let go of the kid. And we see that he has been shot by Sherry's butler from the original series, who I want to say his name was Albert. So I know we have another Albert, but I think his name is also Albert, if I'm not mistaken. They just call him the old man, which might be, because his name is because there are 2 Alberts. So Sherry takes the third kid They all start running. Oh, really? That's really interesting. I did not know that. So Zatchbill Gamer says his Albert name is completely made up by the dub so that Cherry wouldn't have to call him Old Man. So he's really just always been called Old Man, huh? What in Japanese is he called? Just like Oji-san, or what do they specifically call him in Japanese? That's really interesting. I did not know that. Yet I remember that dub name. So she tells the kids to run. Nicolas' ankle was hurt, so he trips. And looks like the sorcerer of this pair says, it's just one after another. You humans are such nuisances. Well, actually, the sorcerer doesn't have to be the one who uses the spell case. Either of them can do that. Anyone who's holding it, I think, should be able to use it. And he casts Gravy Ray, a spell we know well from them, from Sherry and Brago. It pins Sherry and her son to the floor. And Sherry goes, what? Gravy Ray? Mama, Nicola. John, run away with the others to the old man's car. You have to protect Flora. The other kids start running. Nicola thinks, it's no use. I'm done for. I'm scared. I'm so scared. The other guy says, Sherry says, I can tell that you're all demons. Which isn't really true. What have you done with Brago? How are you able to use spells? Answer me. Oh, look at how far the elegant partner of the mighty Brago has fallen. See, the thing is, and we can see from the thing in this guy's head that he's actually probably the monster of the pair, the one with innate abilities. Brago is dead. Dun, dun, dun. Sherry's very distressed by this. And we know from what happened with Zatch that this might be true. This might not just be a lie when we read it here. This might actually be true. So what are you after then? Why are you targeting innocent children? You're the one we want to get rid of, Sherry. The kid's just a hostage to keep you from trying to flee. So what you're saying is, if I surrender my life, you let my kids go? You have my word. Nicola, you heard what he said, right? You need to get out of here right now. But Mama, I don't want you to die. As long as you make it out of here alive. I'll have no regrets about what happens to me. But I can't. My ankle really hurts, and I'm too scared to move. The bone isn't broken, and even though it's painful, you should still be able to run. Be brave now, and get yourself far away from here. He stands up. I will always protect you. Standing up for her kids, so she's got a backbone, even though she's just sort of been ignoring, what's going on with her husband, where it counts. She's got a backbone. Nicola starts crying. She says, go, quickly. He starts running away. Now, wait just a minute. The plan was to let the brat escape after you held up your end of the deal. What? You don't trust the boss? Is that it? You two just don't understand how a young lady thinks. Sherry tackles the guy, the smaller guy. Nicola hears all this going on inside. He thinks of his dad. What is he doing? Where is he right now? Why is this happening? Bonk. Nicola throws a rock at the villain. What do you think you're doing? Get away from her. Leave Mama alone. I missed a page. Oh, yeah. Huh. I don't know why that happened. Okay. So after Sherry tackled him, he says, I knew I should have just held that brat at knife point. It figures you pull a stunt like this. So Sherry she just tackled him over. You got to race. He cast another spell of Brago's at Sherry. And Sherry pulls the monster lady. I don't know where she was. Sherry pulls her right into the attack. She's at the edge of it, so she probably didn't get hurt too badly, but she does scream. And the blast just destroys the whole window area of the house. Damn it. Jimura, be on the lookout for that sniper from before, who hasn't seemed to have done anything since he shot I don't know how long it takes to reload that gun, but maybe he should start just, let's just keep firing at these guys. So that's the weird little man. His name is Gmoda. Anyway, Nicolas has stood up for his mother, for his family, which is, sort of going against what he was saying before about, well, I'm just going to make money and, whatever, relax. And then, I don't care about virtue and anything like that. He's a virtuous person at his core. So the villain is kind of surprised by this. So you decided to come back like an obedient little brat. We're almost done here. Go ahead and take one last look at what's left of your mother. Nicolas, thank you for coming to my rescue. So fearless and commendable. You stand up for what's right, and you represent this family so well. You're my pride and joy. But right now, I need you to run. Because there's nothing I can do to keep you safe anymore. Sherry is just a human after all. It looks like her leg is very badly damaged. So run. Nicolas cries again. Villain laughs. I'll grind your bones to dust with your precious Brago's own power. But Sherry hears a voice from somewhere, probably just from inside her head. It says, run. She looks outside. She senses something nearby. There's nothing. We don't see anything. The villain again casts, "You gonna race!" Sherry summons all her inner strength and gets up, even on her badly damaged leg, and dashes out of the house right in front of the spell. And now this is what was formerly a single page splash page in the last chapter is now a 2-page spread. Sherry once again finding that resolve and the hope. I do think the voice is Braga's spirit calling out to her heart, like how Gash seemed to do for Kiyomar right after he escaped from Waig Zakerga. Yeah, I don't remember that was Zatch, but if that happened, then yeah, maybe so. I mean, clearly if she's looking outside in the direction we later see this thing come in from, it seems like it's not just, it's not fully in her head. So the villain is surprised at this. What? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. She took up running on those legs? Surely she must have plenty of broken bones. And the monster lady has a small pipe. Here it is. Gravy Ray! They run past it. Gravy Ray! So he jumps out of the way. But she still kind of tumbles, lands on her very hurt leg. But she imagines Brago's own strength once again. And screams again and keeps running. And then suddenly something arrives. We see a helicopter spinning right in front of Sherry with a huge, very, very big, if you can kind of think, compared to the size of a helicopter. This is another change to the chapter. Yeah, it sort of grazes her a little bit. It's a helicopter carrying a huge black sarcophagus. And we know, well, this has got to be one of the sarcophaguses from the chamber. Though this one looks like a very classical sarcophagus. It's not weirdly shaped at all. We see inside the helicopter, who is it? Apollo Genesis, who we haven't seen since he was mentioned a while back. Probably almost about a year ago, right? In the series. So many people have mistaken Apollo for Claude in this chapter. It's really, that's really funny. Like, yes, like Apollo, they look similar, but like, even like, let's say you don't notice the sun design, which Apollo has had as part of his costume since he appeared after Rops's book was burnt. But like, just the situation he's in, he's driving a helicopter with a coffin on it. Who else do you think it is but the guy who Kyo gave the coffin to? The coffin is released from the helicopter. Sherry has almost an animalistic look. Pretty nice expression. the coffin lands right upright in front of Sherry. And that is the end, chapter 17. So Justin asks, you think Brago's in there? Definitely. I don't think Apollo would have brought Sherry a random Momoto because I think that, she couldn't activate the book or anything, right? Something I do think is interesting is that it is unlikely that Brago is going to have any spells. Let's just start with that. Zatch Gamer says a replica of Brago's body is probably in there. We still don't know how those work. I'm dying to find out. I don't know how exactly they work either, but presumably that's yes. Whether it's like a mannequin in there that is going to get Brago's clothing once he is revived, whether it's like a fully designed, articulated, like every eyelash had to be placed in. We don't really know by these people thousands of years ago. I think Brago's book probably found Apollo and pointed out the right sarcophagus to him. Maybe, yeah, because the books did fly away, so Brago might not particularly have a way of knowing, but maybe he knows a lot about the previous battle, and maybe he was able to figure it out. But yeah, let's start with the fact that when Brago was revived, which we don't entirely know how he could be, with Zatch, it took this fragment of life which he had imbued the children with. And the piece of paper, which is a spellbook page that Kyo had. That was important as well. We don't know if Sherry has anything like that. So we don't exactly know how she's going to revive him. Once she does revive him, he might not have any spells, because the entire point with Zatch and Kyo is that they got the spell element back from Wade that had Zakara and Zakaraga in it. And Conchame was something similar. He managed to I think, either steal his spell power back or not get it taken away, or he had his own spell power that he was using. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he also had a reason to have spells. Tia, they got the power from Levi and Hanage-Bu and put it in the book. So that's why the spells were there. So Brago does not have anything like that right now. This guy happens to have Brago's spells, so it looks like, they will get them at some point, but I still think it's going to be interesting to see Brago start the fight without any spells. Luckily, that spellbook page is no longer needed. Kiyomaru took care of that requirement by just kind of using an existing page to liberate the books by holding it close. Right. So do we think that Brago is just going to pop out without anything else needing to be done to revive him? They just need the demon souls. Like, where are the souls, Kind of sounds like Brago will take the vial that has his spell in it. And I think that will happen, but I do wonder if we'll just get to see him fight without spells for a while. Though it has been pretty easy to take those spell bottles in the past. So